All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. And to all the first-time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. And to all the subscribers, welcome back. So you can see the S&P 500 index is up on my screen. We're going to come back to it in just a moment. But this video is all about stimulus. Stimulus has been passed, and Biden went ahead and stated that the 1,400 payments can start to go out this month. That is big news for the country, for its people, and the bill has been passed in the Senate after a long battle of a few days between the House of Representatives and the Senate going ahead and negotiating, but it's been confirmed that the 1,400 payments will be sent out sometime this month, and it was a really close one. This is what I found interesting. It was a 50 to 49 vote. You know, that right there was a very, very close one, but it's been passed, and I wanted to go ahead and announce it for all the viewers and investors or everyone that was concerned to know if the 1,400 payments were going to start to roll out this month. It has been confirmed. If anything changes, you know, that would be a surprise to the public, but I believe that once things are stated, especially to this degree, that the Senate passed it, the House passed it, and Biden is confirming it, it should start to roll out this month. So what does this have to do with the market? So the market had hit a peak. I started talking about it back in around the middle of February that we are close to a correction or crash, and we started to fall and hit newer lows, and we could see the anticipation of the end of the week, how fast this ran up. Now, individual investors and institutional investors loaded the boat. Now, when we look at different indicators, it looks like it can actually kind of consolidate and run up a little bit higher, but there is a moment where we will have a slight pullback. I don't know how far down, but it can pull back, but at least it will probably somewhere up here and consolidating, right? That's what we wanted to look for. And if it's a quick pullback, then, you know, stimulus is not really making investors or the market feel too excited. Now, the short-term effects of stimulus, since it's getting passed, I want us to pay attention that this week could have a few bull runs, right? Like moments where the market is jumping up, or green days, basically. And we may even see this run up back closer to those highs, or miss it by a little bit, or actually sit around this area, pulling up and down and consolidating. So those are the two scenarios: reaching back up to these levels and having such a bull run that it starts to get very optimistic, or consolidating within these levels and hitting green days, red days, green days, red days, and staying within a newer high instead of going to newer lows. So we need to watch it carefully all week this week. I honestly think that stimulus will take some time to get into the hands of the people, and the market will not react too excited to that because it's sometime this month. We don't know. The second thing, the Federal Reserve had a meeting on the 26th, right, to the 27th of January, and that was the beginning of policies changing. They have one coming up on the 16th and the 17th. So we want to be aware of that going into Tuesday and Wednesday of the week after, right? We're going over the weekend right now that stimulus is being passed. We need to see how this week goes, and then we really need to be prepared for the turbulence of what the Fed is going to create for the market. Is it going to make it start to run up again? Is it going to pull it down a little bit more? And so forth. And we're going to talk about some of the numbers year over year, I think on March or April, which is why, you know, March itself and next month is going to be a pretty turbulent month that we need to be aware of and pay close attention to what's going on. But it could be one of the biggest opportunities to watch closely the stocks you love, because they might be hitting newer lows. Now, it doesn't mean that they can come right back up, but, you know, if the fundamentals of a company doesn't change by much and it's just the market, you know, those could be opportunities. Not financial advice, not telling you guys to buy, sell, or hold any positions, but we want to watch this carefully. So I want to pull up the S&P 500 index here for the 26th and the 27th. So when we go back, and we put the 1 day here so we can make it happen faster. You can go back to the 26th and the 27th, you could see that the 26th, it hit a high here of 38.60, and on the 27th, it dropped the next day to a low here of 37.50, and it continued that route till the end of the month, starting February. So we need to watch carefully if stimulus is going to make the stock market come back up, and then that week of March, that next week of March, will start to bring it right back down. So then that's why we're still having to see, are we in the midst of a correction or a crash? You know, that's one of the biggest things I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware of. Are we in the midst of a crash, which could be even longer in the downward trend for months? Or are we in the midst of a correction and it's not over yet, and the stimulus is going to drive hope, speculation in the markets and make the markets go back up, just like we saw it shoot up right here from these lows of 37.24 and then run up to 38.51 at one point and sitting at 38.41. Will this pull back and the stimulus not make a big deal in the markets, or will it make it continue to have a bull run, or at least consolidate up here instead of going lower? But then we need to see what the Fed has to say 1 week later and how we end the month of March. There's some big catalysts either on the downside or on the upside of the market coming up very, very soon. So I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware of this, and we could see the market, bring itself back up and then get pulled right back down, unless a double catalyst of anticipation and creating a run, which would be stimulus, excitement this week, and then the Federal Reserve making statements or talking about bond purchases or anything like that that makes the market more excited, and it'll just be a double take there, 1 week bringing it up the next week, and then we just continue to run for the next several weeks or months moving forward. So we want to stay tuned on in. We got some big days coming up. I hope you guys learned something new, and I hope that you guys are excited, as I am, that the $1,400 stimulus checks are going to be sent out, and everything else within the stimulus has been passed to an extent after negotiations with the House and the Senate for the people of America. So that's some cool stuff there. And as always, guys, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video, and stay tuned for more videos if you're interested. And if you want to know what stocks I'm watching, you can join me on over at the Patreon. The link is down below. You'll know live updates weekly on what stocks it is that I'm watching and adding to my watch list, and you can keep on your radar as well. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.